Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Aquarius for November 2016. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, see what's new on my blog, and if you're interested in becoming a coach of any kind, a business coach, a life coach, check out my coach certification program that will be enrolling in January of 2017. You can get first dibs on the open slots if you email me before then. So what's going on in the month of November? November is the most amazing month with the most positive vibe that is fun and lighthearted and has tremendous opportunity for advancement and ascension. It's one of my favorite months of the year with all of the energies that are going on. There are lots of planets in Sagittarius and lots and lots of beautiful aspects to push you along your continuum with anything you're working on. So, I'll talk about the general transits and how they will affect you, but I want to talk a little bit about some things specific for Aquarius. Whenever these beautiful aspects that I'm talking about occur, they have a global effect or global potentials, and they have potentials that are particular to your chart. So most of the aspects, these really beautiful ones, involve the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. When these aspects come together, it's like they send little hugs and kisses to that area of your chart that the mathematical alignment is occurring. So there's a couple of major themes at play for this month. One has to do with accessing and receiving help from all kinds of sources. If you have Pisces energy in your chart, you will notice that there's quite a bit of similar potentials with the month of November for Pisces as there is for Aquarius. It's just the way that the planetary energies are lining up. So one of the themes is that people working behind the scenes, help that you can see, help that you can't see, help that you have access to if you just start the process of trying to look. Synchronicities coming together where you get lucky breaks and you get help somewhere. You know, the theme is energy coming from seen and unseen realms, seen and unseen dimensions to assist you with your goals and your advancement and your ascension. There are lots of little kisses in your chart in the area of the 11th house, which has to do with your big dreams. It has to do with internet-based things, technology, advanced technological advancement, social media, friendships, acquaintances, groups, leading groups, teaching groups, working within organizations or for, in conjunction with organizations, on a team, anything having to do with that. This is also one of the houses of astrology and New Age energy in general. So there's lots of good energy there. There's good energy in the 10th house that has to do with your career and your work and your life purpose. There are beautiful blessings in your 9th house, which has to do with teaching and learning and traveling long distance, connecting with people internationally, any kind of something involving religion or spirituality, and publishing and speaking and getting your message out to a larger audience. There's a lot of good energy showing up also in your 12th house, and this is one of those energies that shows me there's something going on behind the scenes. So whether you are doing some work behind the scenes or whether someone is working in your favor without you knowing it, there's a lot of strong energy there. There also is energy of meditation and connection to the divine. I feel like people get very lost when they don't have an anchor in themselves / the divine spirit. Whenever we place our anchors, this is a common theme that I talk about. When we place our anchors, our happiness or security in things outside of ourselves or outside of our connection with spirit, it's like hitting a moving target. You can't ever get there, and as soon as you do, it shifts. So this month could make a big difference in really setting that anchor within you in your meditation. Meditation is one of the best free ways that you can set an anchor within yourself and establish connection to divine and fine-tune your intuition. That language where spirit speaks to you through things you see, through things you feel, through things you know. So there's lots of opportunities in those arenas for Aquarius this month. There are also lots of exciting general transits that I'm going to go into more detail now, as well as some really great dates and some things to look out for. November is a very exciting month. I'm calling the theme of November for all signs, advancement and ascension. There are lots of planetary energies moving through the sign of Sagittarius, and when this happens, there's an overall optimistic, awesome vibe that's lighthearted, it's fun, it's easygoing. It can be very productive as well, but it can be a little bit dizzying because it moves in a spiral, so it's kind of all over the place. So there's lots of expansion and fun to be had this month, and you'll feel the mood be quite elevated, especially compared to the recent months of eclipses and retrogrades. Speaking of retrogrades, November is the only month in all of 2016 where we don't have any days in the whole month in a personal planet retrograde or a shadow period of a personal planet retrograde. So we had some really good launch dates in October, but we've got even more awesome launch dates in November. Almost every day in the first week is amazing for anything that you want to do. Launches, good times, plans, outings, just overall good vibes. Almost every day of the first week has amazing transits. The 15th, the 19th, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 26th, the 29th. And you can feel these energies often in the days before and the days after. So the month is just completely full of amazing opportunities. When you sign up for my free email newsletter on my website, anniehelpsyou.com, you will get a written version of the good dates, the challenging dates, the overview of the month, every month, a month early, the same way that I do the horoscopes early. So, and you get other gifts for signing up too. So if you want more information or seeing in a written form the energies that are coming up, then definitely go to my website and do that. So Mars is also wrapping up its movement through Capricorn. Mars visits a sign every 2-ish years. So whenever it's bringing its movement and activity to a sign, we have a lot of opportunities to move forward in our lives. Mars is like the border collie of the zodiac, if you've ever been around border collies, I always have had border collies my whole life, and they're busy. They're all over the place. And they can make you crazy, right? Because it's just such active energy, and they're strong and fast, and that's the energy wherever Mars is in your chart and in the sign that it's in. So when Mars is in Capricorn, which it is for the first week of November, that's the end of its cycle there. You have amazing opportunities to wrap up business-related things, work, career, life purpose, things involving establishing your authority, things involving authority figures, anything having to do with father or father figures or people who have played that role to you. As Mars moves into Aquarius, we've got a couple of months of movement along the fronts of everything Aquarian, including all internet-based projects, humanitarian efforts, anything involving groups or teams or leading groups or working with teams or large organizations or humanitarian efforts or friendships or social media. So you've got a lot of opportunity with Mars, especially for things along these lines. There are a couple of spots in the month that are a little bit, I call it dicey, which means that the energies are a little bit challenging. I always think that the challenges give us more opportunities to advance and ascend, so I have an optimistic way of looking even at the challenges. So on the days leading up to that 5th supermoon at 22 degrees of Taurus on November 14th, there could be some emotions. Full moons bring emotions. And speaking of dogs, full moons always remind me of how dogs shake off after they get wet, because emotional energy is represented by water energy. And so at the full moon, any energies that we have in our field that haven't been shaken off tend to get shaken off in the form of some sort of little drama, some sort of little upset, coming to fruition, coming to completion. Sometimes it's a really wonderful thing and there are tears of joy, but sometimes it's just stressful. So I often feel the full moon like 48 hours before it actually happens. That's why I say the days leading up to November 14th. Then by the time the full moon comes, I'm good. I'm done with my moment or whatever. So the fact that this is a supermoon, which means that the moon is actually closer to the Earth, you can see it, it looks huge. It also increases the gravitational pull and effects on the Earth. So anything involving water, like water coming where it shouldn't be, emotions coming where they shouldn't be, excess emotions, can definitely come up. There could be something around the energies of Taurus where it has to do with money or how you make money, your income, something of value, and figuring out things of values, just your values in general. Another very notable transit is a square between Jupiter and Pluto. Whenever we have an aspect between outer planets, which are the ones that take longer to move around, these times of coming together last longer. And so this first Jupiter-Pluto square is happening on November 24th, Thanksgiving. So that could bring some conflicts for people in the United States around our holiday, our Thanksgiving holiday. So look out for that. But this is the first of 3 squares. The second one is March 30th of 2017, and the last one is August 14th of 2017. So from November through August, there's a theme of Jupiter and Pluto coming together in a challenging aspect. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It wants to expand and go broad. Pluto rules Scorpio, and it wants to contract in and go deep and get really focused and really deep. So when these energies that are kind of, they seem they're actually opposite, come together, it stops you from going too deep or too broad. But I see this as a positive thing because either of those energies in excess have their limitations. So I think that you can get the best of whatever you're working on by not letting your Jupiterian expansion get too big, too fast before you can manage it, and Pluto kind of keeping it in check, and not letting you go down into an abyss that Pluto tends to go down into too deep because Jupiter buoys it up. So you'll see this energy of kind of antagonistic forces at play throughout this time. And I'm calling it a little bit of a buzzkill energy because compared to the rest of the vibes of the month, it's a little bit annoying, but see it for what you can do with it. The last little touchy spot is on the last day of the month, which is November 30th. And that's when there's a challenging aspect with Neptune. So deception, self-esteem pings, confusion, insecurity can come up at that time. But don't let these things daunt you because the rest of the month is so amazing that it's like you can't let anything get you down. So if you would like to sign up for my free email newsletter, definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com. Definitely check out what's new on my blog. I have new things up there every month, and plus old stuff you can check out. And if you're interested in becoming a life coach, a business coach, I have a coach certification and online business training course that is enrolling in January, and you can get first dibs at the open slots if you email me on my website. Also, starting enrollment in January will be my astrology apprenticeship program and my creating successful online business program, which is part of the life coach program, but I also offer it separately. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.